folks, and welcome back. I'm Sapphire and Pink, and this is Attract Mode with the Lady Arcaders, showcasing wonderful people in the community and incredible games. Join me in spinning up and blazing through Sonic Generations with Akio. And you're good to go ahead with whatever you got, Akio.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Oh, wait, worries. Hello, everyone. Akio here. And no, you are not seeing double. Well, you kind of are seeing double because there are two blazes on the screen right now. And, joining me for this, adventure is Vale.
Hello. We've got two Blazes on screen, so we've got to have two Blaze fans here.
Yep, absolutely. So, for a quick explanation of how this category works as I run all the way back to Green Hill, I am going to be doing only Act 2 of all these levels, which is the modern Sonic stages. And as you can see, instead of Sonic, I am Blaze. And Blaze is a little more than just a reskin. She actually has like different physics compared to Sonic. But you will see that in display in just a moment here. But yeah, I'll be doing all the modern Sonic stages, all the rival fights and the bosses, which there are only 2 rival fights and 2 bosses for modern, which is still more than classic, because classic only has 1 rival or 1 boss. But anyway, we will be starting the run here in 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go!
So you'll notice right away that the music is different in these levels. I am playing with the Rush Remix mod, which is done by Vale here, actually.
Oh. Nice!
Yep, and for Green Hill we have the song from Leaf Storm from the first Sonic Rush.
Right here, right on.
Right here, right on, yep. Which is definitely a fitting choice for this particular stage.
There was a lot of thought, as with all of my music mods, into this, from both the Rush and Rush Adventure games, I believe was said. There were a few that were left out, but, like, obviously, first one had to be Leaf Storm.
Yep. As technically it was the first stage of Sonic Rush if you were playing as Sonic, anyway.
And this music mod was made distinctly with the Blaze mod in mind, because all of the first, well, aside from the Rush Adventure, all of the first acts are the regular ones, and all of the second acts are, which are the modern ones, are the Blazy mixes.
Yep. I did notice that the last time I played with this mod, that when I was playing the classic levels, it was Sonic's versions of all the music.
I still never went back and unlocked the homing attack with classic Sonic, so that the modern Sonic over classic Sonic mod would be more effective.
I always like taking that shortcut there where you just, like, stomp the bridge out.
Me too. It's almost instinct at this point.
Yeah, Blaze pretty much does the same poses and behaviors as modern Sonic. So, like, when she does the trick and you end the trick line, she just does, like, the Sonic Adventure pose.
Mm-hmm.
I have played other mods, like Silver mod, for example, where Silver has, like, a completely different pose for the tricks.
Interesting. I should look into that.
And of course we have for Chemical Plant, we have what you need for Deadline Zone.
Which might seem a little off because this is the final stage to rush, but the inspiration really for this one is that there's a really good Chemical Plant what you need mashed up that I couldn't say no to. So if I recall, one of the big physics changes for Blaze is that she has more jump and not quite as much speed.
Yeah, she definitely has more jump to her than Sonic does. She has more momentum when she's, like, jumping forward. Which can make jumping, or not jumping, platforming a little difficult at times because she'll want to jump over the platform you want to go to. Yeah. Also, when she jumps, she does her little fire tornado.
Yes, that is a necessity if you ask me for a Blaze mod. Rather than the roll attack, it's got to be her flaming spin.
It's just gotta be.
I clipped through that building there. Don't mind that.
That is not the first time I've seen that happen. That's a regular for me, in fact.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I got knocked into the water here, but honestly, this water path doesn't take that long to get out of, so...
Yeah, especially when you're Blaze, because look how those jumps carry underwater. Sonic don't get that.
Nope, he doesn't. She also has the... Like, when she does the boost, she has kind of the flame around her as well.
It is fun. Blaze really translates very well to these boost games because her introduction was Sonic Rush, which was the first boost game.
Yep.
And that's also why I appreciate the way they'll tweak her physics a little bit, because she did play slightly different in that. And so I appreciate when they try to emulate that for the mods. Woo!
Whoops.
I think that happened to me last time I played Chemical Plant.
Yeah, for some reason, like, when you boost over that particular hill, like, you'll just go flying and hit one of the pipes. Now we're on to Sky Sanctuary.
One of my favorites.
Which, fittingly has the what was it? Sky Babylon, was it called?
Yes.
From Rush Adventure.
It's the land in the sky in Rush Adventure that is very much a stage you want to play with Blaze, because there's a lot of flames that just go away when you try to run through them with her.
Which is funny, because with this mod, you would think that Blaze would be immune to flames, but we will actually be learning in Crisis City that that's not the case, unfortunately.
No default flame shield.
Oh. I've gotten knocked down a lot by that egg robot in my runs before.
These egg robots are actually pretty tricky.
Yeah, especially the one that you have to destroy quickly before he hits the switch that brings up the wall that blocks you.
Oh yeah. This isn't quite relevant to the modern segment, but the last time I played, like, the classic Sonic stages in this for the first 3 stages, I had a lot of things that were like, oh, I'm suddenly trying to play this like the originals that I do actually speedrun now. So it was a little weird.
Yeah, there's actually a mod for Classic Sonic that replaces him with Tails. And Tails actually is a lot more fun to play as than Classic Sonic. And that is another category that I do want to like learn to do and do in future marathons.
Now I get that mod for Sonic Forces. Oh.
Oh yeah, because Classic Sonic in Forces is something.
And Tails deserves to be playable in this stead. But for this, I do actually just use the better Classic Sonic mod, I believe it's called. Improved Classic Sonic mod, that's the one. I love the feel of that.
Oh, I'll have to try that out. But with Tails, the Death Egg robot fight is actually much easier because you can actually fly over his arm as he's going to hit you.
And that's a boss that can be buggy sometimes, so
yeah,
I'd appreciate that.
Okay, so now we're done with the classic era. We don't do Metal Sonic and Death Egg Robot because those are classic fights.
We get to that Death Egg at the end of Sky Sanctuary and say, no thank you. We're going to Speed Highway.
We're going straight to Speed Highway, which... This music... I remember last time I played this going, like, this music is so familiar, but I can't remember which zone this is from.
I believe this was one that was really tricky for me to pick, and it simply ended up with the aesthetic. Because you hear right there was like a siren. This is Blizzard Peak, so this is an ice stage with snowboarding. But we don't have an ice cap to add that on. It just strangely worked pretty well for Speed Highway.
Yeah, it does, actually. Yeah, I imagine when making the Rush music mod that you had to take some liberties and go in like, yeah, well, I can't really think of a stage that really matches this level because, like, there are not really any city levels in the Rush games.
And so you have to go more by, like, vibe you can pick out of the music. It's honestly, when you get down to it, the brainstorming that goes into that.
Decides it does not want to work anymore. Yeah, like, for some reason it just likes to disconnect itself and... No, what's strange is it kept happening to me even with the Unleashed mod as well, which... as well. Alrighty. Yeah, like, I commonly had an issue where my controller just, like something's going on. Like, either it's my controller itself or something with my USB cord. Like, I don't know what it is. I'll have to figure it out at some point. But I enabled a code that should hopefully keep me from constantly having to restart the game. So, anyway, gonna restart Speed Highway here in 3, 2, 1, go. Which Blizzard Peaks is ironically, like, probably one of my favorite stages in Rush Adventure. Yeah. It's definitely a really fun stage, really satisfying to go through really fast. Yeah, the thing is, Speed Highway is an iconic level in Adventure, and City Escape is an iconic uh, city level in Sonic Adventure 2.
Three.
Alrighty, gang. Sorry, I think Tech's a little haunted, but I think everything should be all sorted now, and we can take it away again with Akio, and we're gonna just get right back into it.
Yeah, so we're just gonna jump right back in and finish up Speed Highway here.
This time with me. Here, I've been revived.
Yep. For some reason, fell in battle, and she's back.
She's been here the whole time.
I was the haunting the whole time. Oh no.
I'm in love with like the scale of this level.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Honestly, they really did a really good job at scaling these levels when they remade them. And now it's time for everyone's favorite level from Sonic Adventure 2, City Escape. With
Now, if
JJ Rock playing.
Oh yeah, just a rocket. I think my full reasoning for this was the fact that you fight gun mechs in both these stages.
Yeah,
And also,
I think when I was playing this and I was talking about it with my boyfriend, he goes, maybe it's because of the mechs in this level, and I'm like, yeah, that could be it.
it is. It's also like weirdly one of my favorite songs in Rush.
Oh
So
yeah,
like,
it's mine too.
it has that place in my heart similar to City Escape in a way.
Mhm.
But the one I'm really proud of comes on with the gun chase. Because, I don't know, I just find it silly enough. So, speaking of like what other things they could have put in for less cities, while I absolutely would not replace City Escape, I feel like the most Sonic stage, like the character Sonic in Adventure 2 is Green Forest.
Yeah.
Which I guess then has to go to the complaint of the 3DS version doing Radical Highway, which is the most shadow stage. A stage that is so shadow that it is... There's a lot of Radical Highway in Shadow Generations, let's just say.
Yeah, not only did they pick Radical Highway for the Sonic Adventure 2 stage in Generations 3DS, but they also picked BioLizard for the Dreamcast era boss.
Mm-hmm.
Which is
Very
also
strange
not a
choices.
Sonic thing.
Like, there's not a lot to choose from there, I get, because, like, Chaos is already here, and the point of the center one is that it's a non-Eggman boss.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is one of the ones where I'm like, I don't remember what track this is.
This is the boss theme of Johnny and Whisker
Oh,
at
that's
the end of
right,
Rush Adventure.
yeah.
The pinch version, so like when they're almost dead, so it's going real fast. It's just haphazard enough and hectic that I think it fits very well.
So I figured out recently that which saw that the truck puts down depends on where you're standing. So if you're standing there, it'll put one down there. And if I'm standing in the middle, they'll hit me there. And of course, not only does this gun truck have saw blades, but he also has a rocket.
So, like, who funded this that this can suddenly do it? Was it Eggman? Because he's doing these time changes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he did, like, do this whole time thing just to try and, like, erase all the times that Sonic defeated him, so...
It really brings stuff like City Escape into question.
This is another track that fits the stage, Water Palace.
Mm-hmm. Especially because, ooh, what's the Act 2 to Seaside Hill called in Heroes again? Ocean Palace?
Yes.
The name similarity's right there, actually.
Yep. Yeah,
right down to the
yeah,
aesthetic and
just
symbols.
replace the first word and it's pretty much the same.
But also, like, Act 1 particularly has those segments that are very, very Hydra City, a little bit Water Palace-y. Of course, in the 3DS version, you actually do get Water Palace
Yep.
in this spot, so it's like even further parallel.
Yeah, part of me still wishes that they would have chosen more like handheld stages for 3DS. Like, I would have liked to see maybe some stages from Advance or like a stage from Rush Adventure.
Yeah. This has 9 zones in it, while the 3DS version only has 7 because they tied each stage to an emerald.
Nice. So I got the car section, which is like the best case scenario here.
The fast case scenario.
The fast case, yep.
This was actually a hint that Blaze would return in Team Sonic Racing.
Yep. Sure was.
Oh, they're gonna have no problem including her in justifying her in Silver in Crossworlds, are they? Like, that's part of it.
Yeah, really.
Well, we might even go to Soul Dimension again in that. Ooh.
Ooh, that'd be neat.
What if Marine is there? She wants to drive. We know she wants to drive.
I mean, we finally got Cream back, so Cream as a racer, so you never know.
I really want Cream and Marine to interact, like, in an actual game. I want them to remember Marine exists, also.
Yeah, as much as I wasn't really a fan of Marine as a character, it would be cool to see her come back in some form.
She grew on me by the second playthrough, I'd say.
Also to note, my boyfriend noticed one time when I was playing this that when you boost on water, your boost gauge goes down much faster. Which makes sense because you're running on water, and I guess that is more draining. If you pardon the pun, draining. Right, so now we're gonna fight against Sonic instead of Shadow. And this is actually the rival fight that inspired Fail to do the Rush Remix mod. Because in the base Blaze mod, like, all the other songs are the same, but when you do this fight, it's the music is replaced by Villanova.
Yep. I didn't have to mod this in. I did include it in the mod pack just for completion, but it's already there if you're playing the Blaze Mix. I guess so. If you do want to do Sonic versus Shadow with this, there you go.
Okay, good. I got that. Sometimes when both Sonic and I run into one of those orbs at the same time, it'll count as either I got it or he got it. And last time we did it, he got it.
It's probably like a frame perfect measurement or something.
Yeah.
What happened to that one?
Sometimes if you get ahead of them, they'll just disappear. Oh, that's the
Oh.
first time I've seen him do that.
I didn't know that he could do that. I've never seen that either.
Yeah, also, despite being Sonic instead of Shadow, he still uses Chaos Sphere.
I mean, that's fine, right? In the night fight in Sonic Frontiers, you can use a version of Chaos Sphere, kinda. It's a stretch, but that's really cool, though. And it's like the multi-Chaos Sphere, too. Almost there.
Yeah,
I seem
got
to
it.
remember that, like, very often, at times like those, Shadow would rubber band past me.
Just gotta say, the music here, I know we already talked about it, but it's so good. I'm just like,
is.
I'm over here just vibing to it.
This is like an iconic Blaze theme, too, going forward.
Fatality.
Got him.
There he goes.
Honestly, having a boost off like that at the end, much more fitting for the Sonic Blaze fight than the original Sonic Shadow fight.
Yeah, really. And of course, the original Sonic versus Blaze fight in Sonic Rush was more like you had to mash both the A-B buttons simultaneously, like really fast.
Mhm.
And now we're on to the first modern boss, that is Perfect Chaos. With the boss music from Sonic Rush Adventure. Isn't this like the final boss music? Not the final boss, but...
Yeah, it's not the extra zone boss, but it's the final base game boss.
Mhm.
Yeah, the big swell.
Big Swell, that's what it's called.
Very apt.
Yep.
I seem to remember, like, when I came back to it, it wasn't there, but I had a huge memory of there being an actual tidal wave in this boss in Rush Adventure. I don't know where that came from.
One of those Mandela effect things. Where you
I
think
have,
you
like,
remember
tricked myself.
something, but it turns out like you were just making it up the whole time. Yeah, and
It
also
really does fit pretty
fun
well.
fact, I always like pointing this out every time I play this game, is how Perfect Chaos looks here is how he was originally supposed to look in the original Sonic Adventure. But because of, you know, like, graphic limitations on the Dreamcast, they couldn't fulfill, like, his full form.
This is concept art chaos right here,
Yeah.
rather than the transparent noodle we got.
Yep. And of course, we got the big swell pinch music right here.
Yep.
Which is fitting for phase 2 of this fight.
You will find that when I do a music mod, I do not cut any corners. If there's something I can put in a place, I will do my best to fill that up. Also, I love that when, like, the stage does not catch up to you because you went too fast.
So you like wait, you're just waiting for the springs to get in the right spots so you can hit them.
Farewell, Chaos.
Farewell, Chaos.
My other
Farewell,
favorite
Chaos.
character.
And now we are on to the modern era, starting with Crisis City, which is where we were standing at the beginning of this showcase before I started the run. And this is Haunted Ship, I believe.
Yes.
Oh, Haunted Shipyard, I think it's called.
I don't I don't think there's like really anything to really justify this other than the vibes. Like you're in a very haunted area.
Well,
There's
yeah,
ghost robots all
yeah,
over.
everything is super run
Everything,
down.
yeah, everything here's pretty much dead too. So
Yeah,
there wasn't. Well, there was a lava area between the two Rush games, but it's kind of doesn't work for this scenario.
whoops. Yeah, see right there, I fell in the lava and it hurt. You would think that Blaze would be able to swim in lava because she's made of fire, so.
You know, I
What
was
is that?
thinking
What
about
is?
that. Oh, go ahead.
No, go
Oh, I
on.
was just gonna say, I was thinking about that when y'all were fighting Perfect Chaos. I was like, wait, this is like a water monster.
Mhm.
Yeah,
What's
oh, yeah,
Blaze's
you would
interaction
think,
here?
Yeah, you would think being in the water would weaken Blaze.
Nah. Fun fact about Blaze: she's perfectly fine in the water, and I imagine her fire is hot enough to just evaporate water if needed. She hates heights, though. Do not
Oh
put this
yeah.
cat in the sky.
Yeah, I always find it funny that she is afraid of heights because cats love heights.
Yeah, cats are known for always landing perfectly, and she seems to as well, but she does not like it.
Yeah,
I guess that would have been.
which is funny for her dialogue in Team Sonic Racing. Like whenever you go in the air for any reason, she's like, "Ugh, I hate being up here."
Yeah, it's something that's only like really comes up twice in Rush Adventure, and once in Rush actually. So it kind of sticks. It probably would have been something we could have brought up during Sky Sanctuary.
Yeah. Funnily enough, like speaking of cats liking heights, there is a breed of cat that doesn't like to be in high places, and that is the Norwegian forest cat.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they prefer to be down on the ground. Also, that's the first time I haven't hit those spikes trying to get off that platform.
Nice.
Also, time for the iconic, that tornado's carrying a car. But also rocks and other stuff.
Lots of them. This part, it does really highlight that, like, if you gave Blaze a permanent fire shield for this game, this level would just become very easy.
Yeah, I guess that is a fair argument against giving her fire immunity with the mod.
I mean, I was certainly going to see if I could mod it into the ROM hack I was doing for 3D Blast, but that's a project that fell to the wayside a little. Maybe someday still.
And I was trying to think of what zone this is. I know this is like the last zone in the main part of Rush Adventure.
I know it has pirate in the name, but I'm blanking on it otherwise.
It's like pirate yeah, it's like pirate something zone. I can't remember. I almost said remember. I like almost said remember thing. That doesn't make any sense.
Pirates Island.
Pirates Island, yeah.
And the real reason that it ended up being Spagonia is that it's sort of like a similarly structured town, except it's,
well, plus you got barrels going after you, and barrels are pretty piratey.
True. Pirates are known for barrels.
That's like their whole thing.
I know they're barrels of fun, so.
Barrels of spikes, maybe.
Barrels of spikes, yep.
Barrels of Spikes would go really hard as a pirate ship name.
It would. Or a what do they call it? A swashbuckling band, metal band.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh,
Like that.
guys, we're cooking here.
It doesn't not fit though.
Yeah, honestly, like, I don't think there was really a song that felt terribly out of place when I was playing this last. Because, like, when you think about it deeply, like, yeah, the zone it is used for probably doesn't exactly fit in context, but, like, when you think about it, when you think about like the music itself, it's like, yeah, the music definitely sounds like music that would be in this zone.
Yeah. There are a few zones that like don't have any main stages, and I tried to fit them into the mission music.
Mm-hmm.
So those could have been options. I think a good example will be when we get to it next after this, Planet Wisp.
Yeah. Woo! Didn't get crushed.
That
I
looks
was
like you
holding
need
my
to
breath
slide.
there.
Yeah. I think that might be an example of how Blaze's boost is a little slower than Sonic's,
Yes,
because you're
usually,
nowhere near that close to call. Yeah.
yeah, because usually, whenever I would do Blaze percent, I would almost always just get crushed right there, trying to get out from under the spikes. Oh yeah, and also if you damage this ship enough, it just keeps dropping rings.
Yay.
Right, and now on to the last regular level, and that is Planet Wisp. Which, I like how Planet Wisp looks in this game. I just feel like they could have made it a lot shorter than it actually is.
Yes. Like, I love the first minute of this stage. It's a 6-minute stage on a good day.
Also, yeah, this is altitude limits, which, like, may not seem to fit this level that well, but, like, honestly,
This part.
you're kind of up in the air in this part, and altitude limits is all up in the air, so...
I mean, technically, you're on, like, a small planet that is not on Earth. You can't get much higher than that.
Yep.
There's Earth in the background.
Yep.
But it makes more sense when you get to the more mechanical part of the stage.
So, I gotta say, like, with the Silver mod, Silver has really interesting, like, physics that are completely different from Sonic's as well. One of them is that you can use Silver's hover wherever. And his hover takes up the boost gauge.
That makes sense.
And, one of the things you can do is you can actually skip a huge section of Planet Wisp with his hover. Which, the first time I did that, like, when I was just messing around, I'm like, oh, this has speedrun potential right here.
So that Silver is over Modern Sonic for
Yes,
that?
it's called Real Silver. It's by the same mod creator as like Real Tails, Real Knuckles.
Huh.
They've done quite a bit of like characters over Sonic mods. They're actually the ones that do the classic Tails over classic Sonic mod that I like to play with.
I'll definitely need to look more into those. I hadn't really looked into mods for this that recently. Yeah. But like at this part, I'm like, okay, so most of the stage is mechanical, even though we start off at the green part. Like the green part would have given us the option of, I believe it's Plant Kingdom?
Yeah.
Which didn't get used otherwise. And then when it comes to mechanical, it came down to the next zone in Rush Adventure, which I can't remember the name of, but it's Machine something.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about, and I can never remember the name of it.
And
I think it was,
was
it Machine Labyrinth?
that sounds right. It's definitely a labyrinth.
Yeah.
So then when you get down to that, it's a matter of, is this or that the better song? And it's actually kind of no competition, if you ask me.
Yeah. This is also the part of this stage that really, like, overstays its welcome, is the whole, like, having to use the mine carts to get across, and then going up, and then using the rocket over and over.
Yeah. Like, this is the part where you start to go, like, are we still going? And fun enough, it's not my least favorite part yet. That's still to
Thankfully,
come.
someone actually has made a mod called Shorter Planet Wisp that like just moves the goal ring lower.
Will that mod also let me skip Act 1, which is my least favorite stage in the game?
I don't think so, unfortunately. Ouch.
That's Act 1 is one that, like, very quickly overstays its welcome
Yeah,
to me.
Act 1 feels horrible.
There is actually a part, and I can't remember if that's true in the original version as well, because I was playing the remastered version in Sonic X Shadow. You can't just, like, run or spin dash your way out. You have to spin dash up the wall and know that you can do that.
Yeah. Honestly, just the puzzles that you had to do with the spikes just felt very tedious. Like
Especially the one
like
where...
of all the Wisp power-ups they chose for both classic and modern, they picked the ones that just feel like super boring for this stage.
I would have liked the drill specifically,
The drill would be great, yeah.
and that also for the classic Sonic being 2D would have been a nice reference to Sonic Colors DS, which drill is the Wisp power for Planet Wisp in that. I mean, they nailed it for the 3DS version of Generations, though, where giving modern Sonic Laser and classic Sonic Burst.
Yeah. Which burst was is the Sonic Colors DS power up, right?
Yeah, it's the exclusive to that.
Yeah, because I know the Nega Wisp was void in that game.
Ooh, that was a close call.
That didn't work.
Well,
No.
yeah, we've been there. We've all been there. Maybe not that closely, but
Yeah,
The
it's
slow
just
crush there.
Yeah, it just takes a little bit for the rocket to fully charge, and unfortunately, in that time, like it was able to crush me, and I'm like, well,
it is funny because like the way it started to crush you, it was like you would have thought it would have gone off in that time, but you've already been crushed.
It gave you a little bit of hope, you know?
Just so it could crush that too.
crush all my hopes and dreams.
Crush all 40 of them.
Oh, I just got that joke. Good old Crush 40.
Time to beat up Silver.
Hello, Silver. This is probably one of my favorite rival fights besides Shadow.
I don't like this one. Like, I don't hate it. I think it's a cool fight. But I always run out of boost at the end, and it's just a struggle of trying to get to Silver.
And yeah, the music here is the boss music from Rush Adventure.
Yes.
Or as I like to call it, the Hot Pocket song, because it keeps... I keep thinking that they're saying Hot Pocket in it.
I can hear that. I think I would always hear it as beatboxing.
Makes sense.
Metal Sonic's theme is Metal Scratchin', which is the
Yeah.
boss theme from Sonic Rush 1, so that just by a name base felt appropriate.
So, interesting note about Generations over Colors is that Colors, you needed to get the boost Wisp capsules in order to get your boost refilled. In Generations, though, you could just pick up rings or even knock against objects, and it'll refill your boost gauge.
fun enough, some of the egg pawns, only some of them, did release wisps when you destroyed them. Like, Colors is very much planned out how much boost you have for some reason.
Oh yeah, so there's an interesting mod that replaces Silver in this fight, and it replaces him with Infinite, which
Oh.
he actually replaces him in the base mod of Silver over Sonic.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if that was the case.
But the same mod creator of that also made a separate mod where you can just replace Silver with Infinite no matter what character you play as.
Yeah. So you can beat him up with Sonic too if you'd like. Mm-hmm. That feels like it'd be really cathartic though to get to beat up Infinite with Silver.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he deserves that victory.
Reminder that Silver deserves to have his own year. Just saying.
Yeah.
We already had our year of Shadow. Where's the year of Silver?
I've always wanted a puzzle platformer where you play as Silver exclusively.
Oh, Katamari time. Katamari damashi.
Yeah. Oh, that always happens to me. Like, apparently you do keep the momentum from the boost, so it's quick to get to Silver initially there, but like, he's just relentless with his hits. And if you get hit like twice, that Katamari's gonna get you.
Well.
Oh, kind of like that.
Oh no! Hey, we all love Katamari, so it's like it's fine. We get to look at the giant ball again.
Yes.
Roll up into a bunch of future junk. Honestly, I don't remember the last time I've done this boss without having to retry it at that like exact moment.
Most of the time I'm able to do it first try, but like that was extremely unlucky in that I got hit by the object and got knocked back.
Yeah. What's your favorite Katamari game?
I like Katamari Forever on PS3.
I never got to play that version of it. I played Beautiful Katamari on the 360, which was the same without the like Robo King parts.
Beautiful Katamari was actually kind of like its own game, though. Like, Katamari Forever was more like a love letter to all the past Katamari games.
Oh.
Where, like, it had remixes of, like, the old songs. It even brought back some levels from the old games.
I think that's why I was convinced it was just Beautiful Katamari, because it probably had the same stages, brought in for the remixes.
I think it did have some stages from Beautiful Katamari in it.
It's funny because, like, even though it was the second game, We Love Katamari sort of felt like that too. Like it was a love letter.
Yeah, We Love Katamari is another really good game.
I think that might be my favorite.
I definitely love what they did with the We Love Katamari remake. Where they added stages for the king when he was the prince.
I didn't know they remade it.
Yeah. We Love Katamari plus Royal Reverie is what it's called. I think it's called We Love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie, now that I think about it. Because the first Katamari game was called Katamari Reroll.
Looking at Blaze's homing attack there is interesting, because she continues to spin as if she would have the flame. And her ability to home in is actually something she has in 06.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a twirl forward in that. Yeah, there we go. Immediate
Yay!
that time.
I know I sure love that Katamari.
Yeah.
Now we're on to the last stage of this last boss of this category, and that's Egg Dragoon.
The last egg of this category.
Last egg of this category. Now this music I do not recognize at all.
This is not canon's, or it's the extra stage in Rush Adventure, the extra boss.
Okay. That's probably why I don't recognize it, because I never got that far in Rush Adventure. I've only ever fully beat Sonic Rush. First game. I remember because I went through all the special stages to get the Chaos Emeralds, and the 8th one took me days.
Deep Core is what it's called. It's definitely fitting, like, aesthetically for this boss.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's one of my favorite boss themes between the two games. I'm glad I didn't have to leave this one out. I believe the boss I did for the Death Egg robot was blanking on that name too. Hold on. Bomber Barbara.
Yeah,
Bar-
I was actually really happy about that one. Because I actually really like Bomber Barbera.
That was a rough one because, like, there's 3 different versions of the Death Egg theme for that Death Egg Robo theme. And the way they're set up is very specific, and you have to have each of the tracks be, like, exact to each other. And I was initially trying to make it 3 different segments of Bomber Barbara, and I could not get it to work at all. Like, I had to make them the same track, but they're not short tracks, thus. I could make them, like, the full track that's repeated, so the transition, it's just more of the song, anyway.
Yep.
It's you run into weird quirks when you're modding music into games like that. Especially if it's not like a fan product that's designed to be a little more.
Have you ever considered
easy.
making more music mods for Generations?
I have. I've actually plotted out a Frontiers music mod, which
Ooh.
actually when I was testing doing this, the first thing I did was I modded Break Through It All over Perfect Chaos.
Ooh.
That's where the inspiration
Break Through
sort
It
of
All
came
is a
from.
really good song.
Yeah. But, like, there's a lot of specific file work that goes into modding something like this, as opposed to, say, when I make ones for 3 Air or one Forever and 2 Absolute, which you just need to have the file and set the loop sample in a C++ document or JavaScript. This has you have to align the files specifically how they are. And there's a lot of translating different file types to get to that point.
By the way, this boss unfortunately has the same syndrome that the one Eggman boss in Shadow the Hedgehog has, where he has to repeat a certain line constantly. And that is time for a change of pace.
You know what they say, the more the merrier.
Yep.
As much as I love the Egg Dragoon, a lot of what I love about it is the the werehog battle in Unleashed.
Yeah, I honestly think
No.
that's time for that, by the way.
Time.
Yay!
Yeah, honestly, I feel like the way they executed the Egg Dragoon fight in Unleashed was a lot better.
Mhm.
And speaking of Unleashed, that's actually going to be the next showcase coming up after our short break.
All right.
All right, folks, just make sure not to go anywhere because we're going to be right back, like Akio and Vale mentioned, with the Sonic Generations Unleashed project. We're just doing a quick switcheroo of files, and we'll have everything right back to you. Well, thank you all so much for that. It's been a pleasure hosting for you. I just have a few last things to say. Did you like what you saw here today? Do you want to showcase a speedrun, a cozy Minecraft build, or like a gaming art project? Well, now you can. Submissions for a track mode are always open, and we're currently scheduling for the month of April. Apply on ladyarcaders.com. There's going to be a short break in upcoming in Lady Arcaders content due to some staff members who are helping out with Frost Fatales coming up next week. And don't forget, Lady Arcaders Out of Bounds Toronto is happening on June 15th and 16th, and game submissions as well as volunteer applications are open now. Type !oob2 for more info. Thank you all so much again for watching this Attract Mode. I had a great time hosting for it. It's been a pleasure. And just make sure to stick around for our lovely arcader, Marforia. She's bringing the chill and cozy vibes of Resident Evil 7 New Game Glitchless.